Rejoiners have been dealt a crushing Brexit blow, with a former Deputy Prime Minister arguing such a move to link back up with the European Union is unlikely to happen within the next 5 to 10 years. Britain left the EU on December 31 following the end of an 11-month transition period that saw the two sides agree a last-minute post-Brexit trade deal. It also brought to an end the UK's 47-year membership of the EU, 4.5 years after the country voted to leave the continental bloc during the historic referendum of June 2016. But furious rejoiners have quickly started a fierce Brexit campaign for Britain to once again be part of the EU. However, David Lidington, who was de facto Prime Minister under Theresa May as she desperately battled to convince MPs in the House of Commons of her Brexit deal with Brussels, does not believe this will be happening anytime soon. Speaking to pro-EU British newspaper The New European, he does not believe a viable rejoin movement is likely within the next decade, arguing it is off the agenda for the foreseeable future. Mr. Lidington said, "Certainly I think the task for the next 5 to 10 years is about building up a close strategic partnership with our friends and neighbours. I think the Liberal Democrats probably will campaign to rejoin, they're hitting about 5 or 6% in the UK polls at the moment. I don't think the Labour Party's going to come near adopting that approach, and the Conservative Party isn't going to either. The people who talk about a campaign to rejoin are just misreading the mood amongst both British voters and amongst the 27. If you're the 27, as I've observed, with each year that's passed since the British referendum, they have increasingly focused not on the UK and Brexit but on the things they need to decide as a community of 27. I was very struck when I read the German presidency document for the second 6 months of last year at how Brexit had a single mention. There was one paragraph on page 21 sandwiched by paragraphs on America and on China. I just don't see this as being on the agenda for the foreseeable future." However, Mr. Lidington did concede that none of us know what the UK or European Union will look like in 15, 20 years' time. These latest comments from Mr. Lidington come with rejoiner Lord Andrew Adonis calling on the Labour Party to push for Britain's return to the EU customs union and single market. The former Labour minister was responding to reports Sir Keir Starmer will try to reset his faltering leadership with a pledge to make his party unashamedly pro-business. The Labour leader is reported to be preparing to unveil a policy agenda believed to include tax cuts for firms and a pledge to extend the business rates holiday to help companies battered by the coronavirus pandemic. But Lord Adonis has urged Sir Keir to go even further by pledging to take Britain back into the single market and customs union. The Labour peer has been vocal in his calls for Britain to rejoin the EU, particularly in the weeks following the end of the transition period of New Year's Eve. He tweeted, "The unashamedly pro-business policy Labour should adopt is to rejoin the customs union and as much of the single market as possible." His latest demands come after a leaked email from Claire Ainsley, Sir Keir's Director of Policy, said Labour had to attract more support by becoming more business-friendly. She warned, "We won't recover if the Tories raid family finances with universal credit cuts, forcing councils to hike up council tax or freezing key worker pay. But we also won't recover if we just stand by as businesses go bust." To be the party of working people and their communities, Labour must be unashamedly pro-business to drive growth and opportunity in every part of our country.